Everyone wants wealth without risk. Here's why I invest in this very different type of real estate and why you should too. This presentation is all about part-time work, full-time money, how to make $100,000 or more every year buying real estate for 15 to 35 cents on the dollar without getting your hands dirty. Here's how you can buy real estate for discounts of 60%, 70%, up to 80%. Hi everyone, I'm Ted.Thomas, and I have a few ideas that I've proven and tested that will help you grow financially and will help you make a lot of money. I'm sure you'll find these ideas acceptable. I can promise you in advance that if you'll follow along with me for the next hour and 15 minutes or so, you'll get a handful of transformational money-making principles that you can use immediately. I'm going to show you real stuff, not just how I'm doing this in my business, but how I help dozens of people just like you do the same thing. The wisdom I'm going to share with you is going to be the most amazing real estate material you've ever seen and has the potential to transform your economic life and give you the income, certainty, and security that you've always wanted and deserve. I mean just what I said, and by the time we finish this presentation, you'll see for yourself. This presentation is for anyone who sees real estate investing as a way to increase financial independence while still having a quality of life and being able to spend time with their families, enjoying the good things in life, working 5 to 10 hours per week. This is for you if you want to do your first real estate deal and you're not exactly sure about how to get started and you want to keep your risk to a minimum. This is for you if you're looking for a proven and tested step-by-step system to make $25,000 or more on one real estate deal. I have many students like you who have earned $25,000, $50,000, even $100,000 on one deal. I promise I'll show you true documented case histories of these people doing exactly as I claim. And these student investors are making $25,000, $50,000, even $100,000 on one deal. Now stay with me. In just minutes, you'll see this is not just some pie in the sky claims. This is the real deal, and you can do it now and you can get started immediately. I'm going to give you 3 secrets to contributing financially to your family and generating income 100% guaranteed by the government, working only 5 to 10 hours a week from your home. Karen Russell purchased that single family property and paid only 25 cents on the dollar, which was $11,000 at a tax auction. She immediately rented that property for $750 a month or $9,000 a year. If she put the $11,000 in the bank, she would have received 1, possibly 2% return on her investment. That's only $200 in 1 year. Because she wisely purchased at the low price at a tax auction, her $11,000 investment is now generating an 80% return. She will receive an 80% return, $9,000 every year as long as she owns that property.
There are tons and tons of tax deed properties available here in the area that I live. I mean, every month we probably go to the tax deed sales, and there's anywhere from 110 to 140 properties that they're putting up the tax deeds for sale, and that's exactly how I got this one right here behind me. I bought this for the tax deed for $11,000, ended up owning the property. I'm going to rent it out for $750 a month, so I'll have it completely paid off inside of 15 months. Even though somebody's already offered me $40,000 to buy it, I'm going to keep it as a rental property because I know in 3-4 years this house is going to be worth $80,000, and I like the sort of the sounds of $80,000 versus $40,000 in terms of my retirement.
How many of those deals would you like to do? A lot, right? This is a little known, highly lucrative investment that's been available for 100 years. I'm about to give you the inside secrets. In the next few minutes, I'll show you how she made that deal and how other mothers and grandmothers can do the same. You can easily do this, and that's not all. I'm going to reveal how to turn a $2,000 investment into $120,000 with no risk. So stay with me. Now, before I go further, I have a free gift for you when I finish this presentation. It's a manual that will improve your lifestyle, and it's titled Ted Thomas's Cash Flow Generator. It was written especially for women and men who need a second income. This presentation is for moms, young mothers, grandmothers, and everything in between. Many of you feel overwhelmed with just too many things going on every day. You have a husband to take care of, little kids, big kids, and maybe even the neighbor's kids. Let's not forget the dogs and the pets to feed and take care of. You're a busy person. Maybe you feel like a taxi driver, chauffeuring youngsters, or an unpaid Uber driver going from soccer lessons, school plays, band practice, back to school, doctor appointments, dentist appointments. You know what I'm saying. Well, I have solutions for you. I bet you wish you could take your family to Disney and not worry about the money and rid yourself of stress and anxiety. Not to worry, in the next few minutes, I'll give you solutions. For sure, there's not enough time in your day. Preparing meals, telephone calls, mini crisis, constant cleanup, relatives to talk to, pets to feed, neighbors visiting. Your life is intense. And what about the money to do all these activities? You probably need a second income and you need to find time to earn more money. I have a solution for you. I've never met you. However, I'm sure many of you didn't just get out of college, and maybe you're a little worried about getting back into the workforce so you can create that second income. I have a solution that takes only 5 to 10 focused hours a week, and you can do it from home. If I ask you what you really like to be doing, you'll probably tell me that you'd like to spend some days traveling in the Caribbean, and you'd like some restful days under a palm tree, reading a book, or on a romantic trip to Paris. In just a minute, you'll meet Janine and Caesar. They had ideas about what they wanted to do. When you follow my suggestions, you'll be able to control your day and do what you want, when you want, and you won't have to depend on anyone else financially. You'll get to go on that dream family cruise to the Caribbean or get away on that romantic trip to Paris and the French countryside. Maybe Rome or Tuscany, staying in cute little unique European bungalows in seeing charming little villages and towns you've seen on TV. When Janine and Caesar discovered they could make $25,000 and more on one tax defaulted property auction, their dreams came true. They were sick and tired of 9-to-5 middle management office jobs and wanted to travel and see the mountains of Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming. They dreamed about leisurely roaming around Yellowstone Park and visiting the Canadian Rockies. They wanted to spend their winters on the Pacific coast of Mexico, visiting the beaches of Puerto Vallarta and also Acapulco. Now, here's what they did. You'll love this.
We did not know anything about tax foreclosure sales in depth. We knew they existed, but we didn't know what we could possibly do and how easy it was to go with the program.
And then we also didn't know that it was possible, because when we heard, we thought it was too good to be true to be able to buy homes for back taxes. And once we found out that was true, then we bought a 45-foot coach and decided to retire from our jobs and get out of the rat race and go make some money and live a different lifestyle, live free. So that's why we're doing tax deeds. And
with this, we can get on our bus, travel over the country, find those tax liens and deeds, and have a great time doing it.
We obviously started buying, and for instance, this house, we bought 20 cents on the dollar, and we're going to profit over $39,000 when we sell this one.
Wouldn't you be a lot happier if you could make just one deal like Janine and Caesar this month? $39,000 would sure pay a lot of bills and leave some money to put in the retirement program or get a new SUV. They certainly escaped the challenge of working in a cubicle 9 to 5, and now they work when they want to and where they want to. Ask yourself, would repeated profits like that satisfy you and have you on your way to a secure future? I'm sure it would. I'm going to give you a game plan so you can contribute financially to the family in only 5 to 10 focused hours a week. And you'll like my solution because you can work at home and not have to commute to the office. In just a few minutes, you'll meet a woman who changed her career from daily commuting to staying home, and now she generates more than $100,000 profit per year. That second income will create a better life for you and for your family. You're about to see astonishing, almost unbelievable results and outcomes. I've made a few videos to simplify the process. I've found from experience that video is the fastest as well as the easiest way for most people to learn, because you can see things happen and you can hear the complete story. I'm going to show you examples that are from my files of documented student investors making hundreds of thousands of dollars. You just need to observe and learn. Many of the most successful students have no previous real estate experience. The top money earners just follow the game plan I give them. This Jacksonville woman was desperate, recently divorced, and alone with a handicapped son that she loved. Unfortunately, she gave her divorce settlement to a broker who lost the money. She was determined and dedicated to taking care of her son. Using the solutions I suggested, she focused 5 to 10 hours a week on tax defaulted property. Together, we perfected a new business, and she turned away from her boring 9-to-5 painful job, and she didn't go back. This training is life-changing.
Before I met Ted, I was scared to death. I had lost almost everything in the change of the real estate market, and I did not have a job. I didn't know what I was going to do. I have a brain-injured son who was 33 years old at the time, and I had a rather pricey mortgage, and I did not know how I was going to pay my bills. I didn't know how I was going to feed the dog. I was very scared. I had to find something. So I was at a seminar, and I saw Ted for the first time, and he was talking about something that was very exciting. I bought his program, did what he said to do, and oh my gosh, I made $100,000 my first year. I'm not worried about things anymore. I have developed a level of self-confidence I never would have believed. I know I can take care of myself now. I don't need anybody else to pay my bills, to do anything for me. I feed my dog. My son and I have a blast. It's the most amazing thing. I just really appreciate Ted even having this program, and the support that he offers has been nothing short of amazing. I've bought more properties than I would have dreamed possible. In my first year, I bought 7 different properties. I sold them and made over $125,000. I mean, is that amazing for somebody who had no experience at this, didn't know anything? I didn't even know what a tax deed was.
Folks, if you make a few deals like that in 1 year, you'll be bragging to your neighbors and your grandchildren. $125,000 sure pays a lot of bills. As you know, it's difficult for women and for men over 40 years old. It's tough to get an appealing job and make good money. Puff had no real estate experience. Just think about the security and the predictability she built into her future in just 1 year. Single women love this program. This requires no husband, no hosiery, no fancy hairdo, and you don't have sandpaper hands. You just need a laptop, a smartphone, comfortable jeans, and a sweater. I'll give you all the new skills. You will be successful in just months, just like others you see in this presentation. Maybe you're a grandmother and you haven't saved enough to take care of yourself for the future. We can fix that, and I'll show you how in just a moment. I'm sure you want to create more security, so you're not worried as the prices continue to rise. I'm about to show you an investment that is safe, secure, predictable, and certain. Give me a few minutes and I'll show you how to make a small investment of only $2,000 grow to $120,000 with little or no risk. It's not going to be magic, and it'll only be 4th grade math. It's really easy. I'm going to give you a game plan that I've used with seniors to make big money. I'm sure you'd like to work only 5 to 10 focused hours a week. I have solutions so you can contribute to the family and have long-term income possibilities, and even leave something to those grandchildren you feel so good about, and they'll love you even more. You're about to discover how to make a minimum of 16, 18, 24, up to 36% safely using government certificates to build a second income. I'm about to give you a lucrative money system that you can use for the rest of your life. This presentation is all about government tax certificates, which are predictable, certain, and secure. They are issued approximately in half of the local counties in the United States of America. The house you see on the left represents homes, office building, shopping centers, strip malls. In other words, any taxable property in the United States. All of the properties owe property taxes to the local counties. The office building shown on the right side of the slide represents the local county which is owed property taxes. If the county does not get paid, approximately half the counties will issue a tax lien certificate as shown by the arrow. The other half of the counties will confiscate the property. The counties issue tax lien certificates. They actually sell the tax lien certificate to investors like you and me. When you buy a certificate, you pay someone else's taxes. That's right. Investors pay the delinquent taxes. You're probably asking, why would you do that? We do that because the county will give us a generous, almost an outrageous reward if we pay someone else's taxes. The county will force the owner to pay us back. It's the law in every county and every state. When the delinquent property owner pays the delinquent tax, They are charged outrageous interest penalties, rates of 16, 18, 24, and up to 36%. You get paid this money directly from the government. It's important for you to understand you get paid all of your investment plus the high interest rate. Now, here's the best part. If the property owner does not pay you, the county will award you the property with no mortgage. Wow, that's the deal of a century. Now, don't worry about all the details right now. Just understand, in the United States, everyone pays property taxes or the government confiscates and takes the property. You will own the first priority lien on the property. You will get paid or you will get the property. It's the law in the United States. This is the safest and the most lucrative investment in America. I can say that because you will invest with the government and you'll receive a government check in return. Your money is safe and secure. The interest rates are locked in and guaranteed to be whatever that state mandates. This is an exciting, safe, secure investment. Your money is secured by the real estate. You get paid or you'll get the property. Tax lien certificate investors make money every time. No one is telling you about this investment because they don't want you as a competitor. The investment, when done correctly, as I teach it, is predictable, certain, and secure. Your money is protected by the property tax code. Now let me show you an example. This man paid the property taxes on 2 houses and 27 lots at auction. He took the certificates home, put them in his drawer, and waited. He did no work. He had no property ownership. He didn't fix any toilets. He didn't paint. He didn't fix the house. This is a passive investment. When the owners paid the taxes, he received back all of his money plus 18%. This is a perfect example of how tax lien certificates work.
I bought 27 lots at a tax certificate sale, plus the 5 townhouses, all in one subdivision here, for $6,900. All I did was pay back taxes, and I turned around and got 18% of my money, which was $1,890. Where am I going to make $1,890 doing absolutely nothing? I bought it online at a tax sale. I put home, threw it in my drawer, and a year and a half later, here's a check in the mail. Hello, I won.
Here's a picture of Bob. This is an excellent example of someone who didn't get paid on a tax certificate. He paid the delinquent taxes and the owner never came forward and paid. The county government awarded Bob the property for just the back taxes and he ultimately sold the property.
I'd have to say that the best dollar for dollar deal I've ever done on a piece of land, it happened in Oklahoma. I went out to an outlying county and I bought a tax lien. The tax lien was on a 25-acre piece of land. The tax lien was only $67.12. You'd think that nobody would ever abandon a piece of land for that small of a tax bill, but things like that do happen. And guess what? Those people never did pay that tax. They never redeemed that tax lien, and I ended up getting the tax deed to that property. I eventually sold that piece of land for $22,500. It's not uncommon to make $10,000 or $20,000 off of a deal.
Nice profit, don't you think? $60 he invested, and ultimately he sold the property for $20,000. I'm sure you'd like to do that. Now it's the law. You own the property because the taxes were left unpaid and you paid the taxes. This is a passive investment. According to treasurers nationwide, 95 to 97% of the people will pay their taxes. It's unusual to get a property at a tax lien certificate sale because most people pay the property tax. Each state makes its own laws. Using techniques you'll learn in my training, you can earn these high interest rates sitting at your kitchen table. One of my favorites is Georgia because in the second year, you can earn up to 30% on an investment. Now I'll tell you more about that a little later on. Quickly reviewing, every property is taxable. The county will sell either tax lien certificates or they will sell the property for pennies. Rich people love this investment. The government does all the work. That's right, the government does all the work and then pays you big money. Now, I don't sell investments. It's important to understand that you will not get money from Ted.Thomas. I'm an author and a publisher of information. You will invest with the local government and the government gives you the right to receive all of your money back, plus the high interest rate, or you get the property. Now remember, the tax collector in each county determines the interest rate. It will be important, and I will teach you to buy in the counties where you earn the most money. Taxes aren't always bad. For example, property owners pay taxes and the money pays for the county employees, pays for the police, the sheriff, pays for the firefighters, pays for the schools, pays for the roads and the libraries and the hospitals. This program is designed and created for people who want to stay home with their family and generate income so they can plan for the future. With Ted's program, you'll have security you want. Here's what happened with Ted's help. You'll feel safe and secure. You'll control your future, and you'll have financial confidence, and you'll have high income. Here's how I created security for Grandma Shannon. Now, some people make $100,000 on one deal. For example, this school teacher grandmother followed my system step by step. The game plan guided her to over $100,000 profit within 6 months. All of that on one deal. You may do better, faster than Grandma Shannon. I'm going to help you, guide you, and nurture you, and help you change your lifestyle. Grandma Shannon never picked up a hammer or cleaned a house, and she made $100,000 income. Shannon raised her family working as a school teacher. Her husband was a long-haul truck driver, away for weeks at a time. She wanted to replace his income and bring him home. She was lonely, and she wanted him there on weekends. Working with me and my team, she got the outcome, the solution she was looking for. Her emotional pain and feeling lonely and empty on the inside was solved, and she did 90% of the work from a small office in her home, and she brought her husband home too. Now here's Grandma Shannon. As you'll see, age doesn't matter in this business.
I'm Shannon Ulrich, and I live in Alberta, and I've been being coached by Ted.Thomas, by Bill Williams in the Ted.Thomas group. Having the coach made all the difference, and I quit my job. It was an office job, and as a teacher I knew I could be making more money. And my husband had been working on the oil fields for 2 years at that time, full time. I was seeing him once a month, and we were tired of that lifestyle. And we knew that he couldn't make any more money, so I had to get out of my rut and do something different and drastic. And so that's what we did. We paid around $34,000, which was 27% of the assessed value, $120,000. And then 6 months later, we were able to sell it for $135,000. Which was 3.7 times our investment. I just feel like I've really progressed. My husband's really proud of me. That means a lot, you know. With selling my first tax deed, I made 2 times my yearly salary in that 6-month period. Now I get to be a grandma, and every day is a Saturday.
If you're watching this presentation, I'm sure you're a hardworking person. If you follow my system, you can make profits just like Shannon and have security in your life. Wow, $100,000 profit. How long would you need to work in an office or job or profession to make that kind of money? Certainly, Shannon replaced her husband's income, and you can be sure she's not going back to teaching school. At this point, you should ask yourself, would this work for you? The answer is yes. It only requires 5 to 10 focused hours per week. For just a moment, I'm going to tell you who is Ted.Thomas and why you should listen to him and why he knows what you need. I have experienced some of what you're going through every day of the week. My mother was a single mom, and that was not by choice. My dad gave up and abandoned his family. He spent all the time in a smoke-filled, dirty bar rooms. I can tell you it was a little ugly accompanying my mother to the bar room trying to get money from my father, even for groceries. I don't want you to think we were poor, but I'll tell you, my mother took the bus to work early in the morning and she came home late. We never had an automobile until I bought one when I was in high school with the money I made working in a gas station. I grew up fast because I hated those washed out hand-me-downs and shirts and clothes from my older brothers, who both took off and abandoned the family as soon as they could. I'm not crying on your shoulder, but giving my mother money at 16 was really important. My younger sisters had no dad to help them through their formative years. Fortunately for me, Uncle Sam in the United States military educated me as an air traffic controller. And from there, I went on to be a commercial pilot and have a career. Bless my mother because she found another drunk, but at least he had a house, a car, and he took care of her. Decades later, I got the business bug. I resigned from the airlines, started a business in California. The business with other investors was fun and very profitable. We purchased large apartment properties and office buildings. I soon found out how to get really rich in real estate, all thanks to massive run-ups in the market and growth. We lived on the fast track for 15 years until the mid-'80s, and then a massive market crash. Apartment properties lost 70% 80% of their retail value. Now think about that. The values dropped 70 to 80%. Ouch. That destroyed all the cash flow, and a 200-employee company crashed into bankruptcy. The loss of money was tough. The humiliation was devastating. One crisis after another. Humiliation and failure continued. Former employees, executives committing suicide because they were losing their homes and their family. Long story short, I ended up in a 2-bedroom apartment. At my all-time bottom, my wife was diagnosed with cancer. I couldn't let her down. Now here's the lesson I learned the hard way. Be conservative with your investments. Tax lien certificates are safe and secure. You invest with the government and you'll get checks back from the government. It doesn't get any better than that. The high profits come from tax deeds. You buy below wholesale, and if you're smart, you sell low like Walmart, Target, and Costco. Women do well because we teach them to research and follow directions, and they understand bargains. If you get this right, you'll be successful. Tax lien certificate investments are predictable, they're certain and secure. This investment won't let you down. Tax certificates get you paid or you get the property free of any mortgage. There is no other investment on the planet that protects and secures your money and gives you returns of 16%, 18%, 24%, and all the way up to 36% interest. At the low point in my life, I tried a lot of new things. The internet seemed to have more crooks than I have ever met before. Franchising looked really good, lots of revenue, but I couldn't imagine myself trying to manage 100 teenagers. Multi-level seemed like endless bottles of jars filled with health pills and cosmetics and makeup and soap suds. And the guys at the top made a fortune, and I didn't want to wait 45 years to get there. I'm sure you're getting the idea. Fortunately, the universe opened up my eyes, and I finally ended up in a meeting with just a few hardy souls, and they introduced me to the world of abundance. At last, I found tax lien certificates. I knew everything would be okay once I learned about those certificates. I know why you're here. You're here because you'd like to make $100,000 or at least a predictable, certain, and secure income, and you'd like to do that working from home. You're about to look over my shoulder and see a career woman who took my directions, and she was ultimately able to give up her professional position in corporate America, and she was earning $65,000 with pension benefits and health benefits. She has a young family, as you're about to see. For clarity, to review, tax lien certificates work like this. When you buy a certificate from the government, you are assured of payment. If for some reason you don't get paid, you get the property without a mortgage. For a moment, I want you to imagine buying a single family property for 6 or 7 cents on the dollar with no mortgage to pay. Sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? Earlier, I promised you amazing results. Drew and Risha followed the same simple game plan I clearly outlined. It's step by step, and their outcome, their result is truly amazing. Tax lien certificates are safe and secure investment. If the property owner fails to pay, you get the property. It's the law in every state and every county. The county gives you free and clear ownership with no mortgage. It's the law. Drew and Risha paid only 6 cents on the dollar for the tax lien certificates. They were all in at that number. The property owner failed to pay the property taxes of $11,000. The government control process awarded the property, a single family condominium valued at $180,000 according to Zillow and the MLS and the tax collector. Now let me say that again. The condo was valued at $180,000 according to Zillow, the multiple listing system, and the tax collector. It doesn't take many deals like that to retire you early. So listen to this.
Hi, I'm Risha Davis. I have a beautiful family. I'm married to this gentleman for 7 years, and we have 2 young boys, a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. I don't have a full-time job. This is what I do, and I do it because I can have my kids at home. I can take them with me on vacation. I can take them wherever I want to go, wherever we want to go, and I can do this all from a computer. You know, I still want to contribute to the household. I want to make sure that we have enough funds to live the life we want, you know, and having the resources and having the people that have our back and help us achieve that, it's incredible. This is life-changing. This is something that really is something you can do 10 to 12 hours a week. You can do maybe even less than that, depending on your knowledge of that particular market or that system. This is an opportunity where you can earn more than you would at a job in a matter of days, in a matter of weeks. There's not that demand for you to fit societal pressures of getting dressed in the morning and making yourself up. I mean, it sounds silly, but it's a lot of work for women to have to also put on makeup and have to wear a certain outfit. You know, this is stuff you can do from your pajamas if you want.
My all-in investment on this particular opportunity, where I was successfully foreclosed on the right to redeem, was about $11,000 on a property valued at $180,000.
How would you feel if you did one deal like Drew and Risha? Pretty darn good, right? Women love to do this business. It only requires jeans and a sweater. No overalls, no fix-up, no pickup truck, no toolbox required. I hope this example makes sense to you. Risha is making big money sitting at home. With a little research and guidance, you could be doing the same. As you've just seen, Drew and Risha are taking care of their financial future. Now that I've shown you how to make the real big money, do you want to continue losing money? Big secret number one. Let's do things risk-free as much as possible. With tax lien certificates, you invest with the government and you get a check back from the government. These certificates are proven to work. 97% of all certificates pay you your investments profits fully within 24 months, and the interest rates are guaranteed. Government tax lien certificates have been available for over 100 years. Thousands before you have invested and done well with these certificates. Here's how it works. Notice the home on the left. That represents real estate in the United States of America. It could be a farm, it could be an office building. The taxes are owed to the local government. If the government doesn't get paid, they issue a tax lien certificate. This is the first priority lien. What I'm showing you is the safest, most lucrative investment in America today. It's very exciting. You could earn, depending on the state, 16%, 18%, up to 24% on your money. Compare that with a local bank that's paying 1 or 2%. I designed and created this training to rescue women and men who have above average ability and have many family responsibilities. You only need 5 to 10 hours each week focused on wealth building online and offline. The objective of this training is freedom from worry and financial security. My students come from all walks of life. Most have no real estate experience. They follow a specific game plan and make money quickly. Your previous education and background doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what type of employment you enjoyed before you started. This 200-year-old safe, secure system allows you to have a lifestyle others only dream about. Now, this could be you.
I took Ted.Thomas course 6 months ago. Since then, I have done 9 deals. Actually closed on one. The first one I closed on, I purchased for $11,000, and I sold it for $45,000. So I've made, $34,000 profit on that. If it wasn't for Ted.Thomas, he changed my life. Not only changed it, he saved it. Because a month after I took his course, I got laid off. I was a worker just like everybody else, working 40 hours a week, barely making ends meet. I got laid off. If it wasn't for me taking his course, I wouldn't know which direction I would go in. So I'm just glad I took the course and I met him. He changed my life, saved it.
How about that for solving a few problems? Where would you be now if you had learned this system 2, 3, or 5 years ago? $34,000 on his first deal in just months. Chad was grateful for the help and the training. Your life will change too when you complete this training. Financial doors will open for you. Take a moment and think about earning $25,000 or even $50,000 in 1 month. You'll be just as excited as Chad, and your family will be proud of you. Chad made $34,000 in months. That leaves him surplus money for his retirement. Most people today are not contributing to their retirement program, and they're living paycheck to paycheck. Together, let's solve that problem. As we work our way through this presentation, you should be thinking and asking yourself, what is going to happen to your life and your family if you don't invest in a program like this and generate a second income? Where and how financially fit will all of your family be in 10 years? Government tax lien certificates and tax auction properties will be available for the rest of your life. Big secret number 2 is you are finally making investments that help other people. Tax lien certificates allow property owners time to find money to pay their taxes and handle life's crises. You'll be helping the government because you pay someone else's tax certificate. You are making sure that the school teachers are paid, the sheriff, the police departments are paid, the firefighters are paid, not to mention the hospitals, the libraries, the roads that you drive on every day. Here's how you can turn a $2,000 investment into $120,000. I'm showing you the power of interest rates. These are amazing returns. Here's a perfect example. If you had $2,000 tax lien certificate and the interest rate was 3.75%, we could easily figure out 1 year and then reinvest, reiterate 19 more times, and you would see in 20 years, the value would be $4,129. Not very exciting. If we took the same $2,000 invested in Arizona tax lien certificate at 16% and we reinvested continuously, the value would be $30,000. But let's go for the gold. I'm sure you get it. Let's invest $2,000 in Iowa tax lien certificates that pay 24%. Reinvest the money over and over for 20 years, and it becomes $120,000. I'm sure that works for you. You make a small $2,000 investment, you reinvest it along with the high interest rate, and it becomes $120,000. A nice, safe, secure investment. Next, I'm going to show you how to make big money with tax defaulted properties. You're looking at a picture of all the different counties in New York State. About half of the states sell tax defaulted property. Some people call these tax deed auctions. In New York, the county prints an auction brochure each time they have an auction. Most counties will have one, sometimes two auctions in a year. In this case, you can see Sullivan County is auctioning 488 properties. The brochure you're looking at has pictures, property descriptions, plus the starting bid. The property owners who do not pay their taxes lose the property to the county. The starting bid at auction is usually the delinquent back taxes. There is no mortgage. My clients, Joan and Peter, followed my directions and attended the auction. Listen to the video closely. If you have a pencil, it will make this case history very enlightening.
I first met Ted last August through Dave Dubois' webinar. And we had decided that we really needed something more for our retirement. And when I saw tax deeds, I really knew that this was something that we could do and that would work for us.
The first time Joan brought this tax liens and deeds business to my attention, I thought it was just one of those other get-rich-quick schemes that we've seen so many of before. You know, they're always too good to be true until you actually investigate them, and then you know they are. This one here was different. Once you got into the auction part of it itself, the more we researched it, the more we found that it was viable. We
went to our first auction in June, 2 weeks ago, in Sullivan County, New York. And there were 500 properties up for auction, and we ended up buying 4 of them. The first one we got was a single-family home. It was valued at $70,000. We paid $25,000 for it. It has a tenant already in it. She's on renter's assistance, so the government is actually going to pay us $800 a month rent. The second property we bought was 27 acres of land on a beautiful side hill overlooking the river. Forested land. It's divided into 5 lots. It's valued at $175,000, and we paid $12,000 for it. Then we also bought 2 residential lots. They're both about 2 acres, and one we paid $1,000 for, one we paid $600 for. They're both valued at $20,000.
Without taking Ted's course, we'd never have learned how to do tax deeds and liens. We had heard about them before, but you know, it's very difficult to find the lists of properties that are available, and let alone trying to find which counties have sales on at what time and all that kind of stuff.
But Ted gives us all that information. It's very well laid out. And we're just excited about our future. This is going to give us all of our dreams and hopes fulfilled because we do it together, yeah. And the earning potential is unlimited.
Retirement, here we come.
Joan and Peter purchased numerous properties. The first property had a value of $70,000. The purchase price was $25,000. The property, a single-family home, had a tenant paying over $10,000 a year rent. The return on that investment was over 30%. The second property had a tax-assessed value of $175,000. Joan and Peter only paid 6 cents on the dollar. They used my buy low, sell low strategy to sell. They put free ads on Craigslist and inexpensive ads on Zillow and eBay. The ads cost pennies, and the ads showed the tax-assessed value of $175,000, and they used my Walmart strategy and discounted by 65%. They sold for a bargain price of $62,000. That's a $50,000 profit above what they paid. Now, for clarity, they purchased for 6 cents on the dollar and they sold with a 65% discount. That works every time. There's tons of fixer-upper people watching late-night television shows looking for these bargains. Why not be the supplier? A 65% discount works every time. I'm sure you'd raise your hand to make that kind of money on one deal. So let's go back and do a quick review. Tax lien certificates, you invest with the government, you get a check back from the government. If the property owner doesn't pay, you get the property free and clear. You own the real estate for 3 to 10 cents on the dollar. With tax deed auctions, you buy for pennies and then you sell for bargain prices and you make cash quickly. So big secret number 3, you can do this from home. Together, let's review how working 5 to 10 focused hours a week, you can make $25,000, $50,000, and even $100,000 on one deal. You're not going to believe this, but I'm going to tell you anyway. You can buy properties just using your laptop and never have to leave home or office. I have students doing it online every month. We truly live in the internet age. It's amazing all the tools and systems that are available online right now. As part of this training, I plan to teach you to use my secret weapon. In addition to doing research classes you'll study on your laptop, I've spent the last 5 years teaching people how to buy online. I have students buy online from Australia, from Canada, from Singapore, and Mexico City. You'll never have to leave home to buy a property if you don't want to. If you do this right, you'll make a bundle. Buying power is on your side. Buying at tax defaulted auctions with discounts of 60%, 70%, and 80% is common at online and offline auction. This gives you massive room to make serious money. Not everyone starts small. Many investors are frustrated with their brokers, financial planners, and advisors. Thousands of separated or single women are searching for a secure investment. Deborah tried for years to find someone to manage her portfolio. She only asked for a 5% return. It was frustrating as most advisors lost money. Finally, she took matters into her own hands. With my training and $25,000, she quickly turned that into a $50,000 profit working from her kitchen table. Now here's Deborah telling you how you could do the same thing from your kitchen table.
My name's Deb Murphy. Purchased my first property, bought it for $24,000. It'll literally sell for $70,000. I'll probably list it around 75, 76, and it'll sell. I did it all online, by phone and by computer. Ted's material showed me that I can depend on the county records, what's online as far as property appraisers records, what's online as far as all the documentation around a property, that I could depend on knowing 75% of what's going on with that property without even stepping foot on it. So there's just so much more available online. So I did the IBGS program 2.5 years ago, but even last month I was talking to him about a certain situation. I wasn't sure. Ted, what about this situation? And he said, Deb, this is what I understand, this is my information, this is what's correct, but I'll double check for you just to make it more comfortable. And so he went and did some homework for me to make sure he was giving me the up-to-date right answer. I said to my husband the other day, this thing about retiring for us now, because of tax liens and tax deeds, it's kind of like when you're 17, 18 years old and you're graduating. And then it's like, oh, I can do this and I can do this, and you're just trying to choose where you want to go with it, what you want to do, what school, what career. This now feels like I'm graduating from high school and I've got all this ahead of me, just kind of choosing which route I want it to take and how big I want to go. There are 3 reasons why I love doing the tax deed sales. Number 1, it's something that my husband and I can do together now and when we retire down the road. It can be fun for us. At the same time, we can be making money and doing business. Second reason is I'm learning a ton about myself and my skill sets, and I really am enjoying the personal growth. And the third reason is it's great money.
I hope you see how this process working from home could be a financial solution for you. I'm sure you'd like to develop a $50,000 profit from a small investment. Deborah made a life transformation. A whole new world opened up to her. I can assure you the same will happen to you. This is clean white-collar work that appeals to women and to men. Generally, women are better at this than men. That's because we train them and they do their research and they ask more questions, which means they get more answers. This is clean white-collar work. Forget about fix-up. That's nonsense. Stop thinking about rehabilitating houses and watching those fixer-upper TV shows. Forget about painting, knocking down walls, building on add-ons, getting rid of trash, fixing up kitchens and bathrooms. That's all nonsense. Rehabilitating takes months of time and tons of money. Fixing up is a nightmare unless you have bundles of money. Lots of money goes out the door to Home Depot and dozens of fixer-upper contractors and helpers, or you do it yourself and spend long days that often go late into the night, even precious weekends. And before you know it, the weeks turn into months of cleaning and fixing. And then you start to worry. Can you sell and get your money back and make a profit? Let's not cross your fingers and hope for profits. I will teach and guide you to sell quickly. The objective is to buy low and sell low. Fast bucks, not the last bucks. I'll teach you to go to the bank with deposits. Money in the bank gives you comfort and security, and you'll sleep well at night. With this training, you'll receive professional help and live coaching. I don't want you to think this is a piece of cake. You must focus 5 to 10 hours a week, and you must sell fast. Don't let some YouTube video impress you that you can do this easily and without training. Yes, it's simple, but you know it's not easy to make $25,000 or $50,000 without a guide or some training. Stop worrying about how old you are or how young. Next, you'll meet Juanita. She's 92 years old. At a 3-day workshop, she learned the nitty-gritty of tax lien certificates and tax deeds. She decided to join a small group that was headed to the auction in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Before the auction, she attended a class on how to buy at auctions. She did not sit on a rusty dusty. She captured all the information from the coaches, viewed the properties, and ultimately, she bought a property at auction for only 15 cents on the dollar. She tells me she'll make no less than $10,000 profit, maybe even $15,000. Here's Juanita.
It was unbelievable knowledge to me. There was 47 lots for sale, and the minimum bid was $103.
How much did you pay?
$3,770.
Okay, so she spent $3,700, and this property's going after hers for how much?
Right now they're listed for $28,000. And I did already get a lowball offer. I could have doubled it, but to hell with that.
You could have doubled what?
I could have doubled my money.
You turned it down? You could have doubled your money?
I sure as hell did.
You sure as hell did.
What I did tell her, I will drop it all the way down to 20, easy. But I'll still make a good amount.
So you make 3 times your money?
Yep.
So this is like a little gold mine.
It is.
Yeah. Let's thank Juanita for helping us out. Was that great? Terrific. Good job. I hope you feel like the people in the picture. This is an exciting investment. Right now, it probably feels like you're drinking out of a fire hose. Let me tell you ahead of time, we are the light at the end of the tunnel. This really works. My training will be in bite-sized modules that you can easily learn. My training systems are not cheap. However, they are comprehensive, detailed, and if you follow directions, this will be your guide to a second income. When combined with my coaching team, your success is assured. We are serious investors, and we are serious about purchasing and reselling tax-defaulted properties and tax lien certificates. No coaching team on the planet has the experience of the Ted.Thomas coaches. Together, their combined experience is over 200 tax auction properties, purchase and resales. No other team in the world has accumulated this knowledge and experience. We teach people like you how to make money. The college and university system has managed to put millions of young students in debt over their head. Not one of the college systems that I know of teaches those students how to make money. My program is only about making money. This training is different than colleges and universities. I've cut through all the fog. I've thrown out all the ivory tower professors, administrators, and there is no expensive campus or fancy green lawns or shrubs or statues. I give you a guarantee of results. I do that in writing. You can take my guarantee to your attorney if you like. There's no weasel clauses, no BS. It's down to earth. If you can't perform, we'll be there to help you. Here's a close look at costs from large university systems around the country. Notice at the very bottom, the only one with low prices and guarantees is Ted.Thomas, and Ted.Thomas provides live training every week. Fortunately, I have no high-priced TV or satellite radio to buy when we sell on the internet, so I'll pass on my savings to you. The course you've just looked at is valued at $15,000. You can purchase this online for $2,495. This training was created and designed for serious-minded people who are firmly committed to making $25,000, $50,000, even $100,000 in the next year. Oh, by the way, I understand you found me on the internet. I'm also aware that most internet buyers are bargain hunters. So for all of you bargain hunters, stay tuned. I'll explain to you about a bargain hunter special in just a few minutes. But first, every woman watching will love this story. Lisa dedicated her life to helping others. To do so, she needed a lot of money. I know all of you want to take care of other people too. I've been teaching students for decades. I work with many women who want to take care of others they love. 10 years ago, Lisa Hall started as a student. She wanted to create security in her life and take care of people. After the training, she turned her pain and insecurity into pleasure, prosperity, and comfort. She feeds 44 people a day in California. In Africa, her group feeds 4,000 people a day. She certainly puts her money to good use and makes the world a better place. Lisa makes millions and she shares. That is, she takes care of people she loves. Wouldn't you like to do the same? Maybe take care of your parents or other relatives. I know you've dreamed about it. Let's listen and watch Lisa.
Yeah, I really appreciate Ted.Thomas because of the fact that he introduced me initially to tax deeds and tax liens, and also for the example he's set in this world to educate other people, because that's quite admirable. He's at a point in his life he doesn't need to be out here chasing around to different places in different countries. He's going to Singapore today. He doesn't need to be doing that, but he wants to educate other people. He wants to make a significance. He wants to pass it forward. At the time I was somewhat occupied with other things and didn't actually take a lot of action on tax deeds and tax liens until 2009. At that point in time, I started pursuing them quite aggressively, mainly tax deeds. I've done a few liens, but mostly tax deeds because there's a higher rate of return on your investment. I tend to use other people's money to do that. So in the 5 years that I did tax deeds in California, I never used any of my own money. I used other people's money. I used investors' money because that's the way to leverage yourself to increase your profits. And we earned, the last group that I worked with in California, over a 5-year period, about $5 million. I'm involved with an organization called Nourish the Children in Africa. I've done medical missions there. And I feed 44 kids in Africa every single day. Within my organization of people that volunteer to do the same, we feed over 4,000 kids a day. And I think that just being able to help, there's so many people in this world that don't have the advantages that we have here. And so being able to help other people, that's what life's all about. It's how did you make a significance. It's not all about what car you drove or what you had or what you needed. It's what you've done to help other people.
Wow, she said $5 million. Let's face it, $5 million is a lot of money. I don't know exactly how much you'll make. For sure, I know if you don't get in the game, you have no chance of making profits. If you only accomplish 1% of what Lisa Hall accomplished, you could generate $50,000 newfound money every year while you're taking care of your family. I'm sure you'd like to do that. No matter which program you choose, I'm going to give you a competitive advantage so you can be successful quickly. The coaching certificate you see pictured here qualifies you to attend a 1-hour class every Wednesday night on your computer with a live coach. My coaches all have deal-making experience. This is real learning from qualified experts. This certificate is valued at $3,000 and comes with your learning materials. My second competitive advantage is I'm going to give you 2 tickets to a Ted.Thomas 3-day auction preparation workshop. Each ticket is valued at $2,500. At the workshop, you'll receive 3 full days of instruction from professionals. If you learned a lot watching and listening to this presentation, just imagine what it would be like sitting with me and my expert coaches for 3 days. You'll find it's amazing. All of my students receive the following. This is my biggest competitive advantage. I'm going to give you 4 guides to hold your hand. These are people that work daily in my business office, and they have access to answers for thousands of questions. There's one guide who sets aside time every single day There is always a schedule for someone to take your call. Who do you want to learn from? In my opinion, the coach you choose is the most important element. That's why I include a coaching certificate in your learning materials. How do you choose a coach? Number one, ask, do they make money personally? Number two, ask, do their students make money? My students, as a group, have purchased and resold over 200 properties. No coaching team on the planet has this experience. They will assure your success. At a recent 3-day auction preparation workshop, Anna was nervous, and at each coffee break, she came to the podium and asked many questions. One of the questions was, where should she go to purchase property? And I suggested she go to Los Angeles, California, where she would find many properties to choose from, which she could research from her home. She asked me, will you guarantee there'll be enough properties? I assured her hundreds of properties would be available, which she could buy and research from home. Like every student, she was skeptical, and that's why I provide a written guarantee. And I reminded her that I give every new student, every new client, a guarantee. No competitor on the internet or off the internet would give you a guarantee. I guarantee in writing, if you can't find 5 tax lien certificates, my staff will help you find 10 tax lien certificates. Please notice, I'm giving you this guarantee in writing. Many of you will want to buy tax defaulted property at bargain prices of 10 and 20 cents on the dollar. If you can't find 5 of those properties yourself, my staff will help you locate 10. We are serious about helping you earn a second income. Why is a guarantee important? Well, first of all, it gives you peace of mind. Secondly, it reduces risk. Thirdly, it reduces the fear of loss. We document no weasel clauses. We'll give it to you and you can show it to your attorney. No competitor would dare to offer you a guarantee. You might ask yourself why. Why won't the competitors give you a guarantee? Once again, no course online or offline will give you that guarantee. You wouldn't buy a car without a guarantee, and you wouldn't buy a big screen television without a guarantee. So let's continue on. Let's get back to Anna. I called Los Angeles and requested the auction list. When it arrived, it was big as a telephone book. Over 2,000 properties available. There's an old saying in real estate, which is very true. You make your money when you buy, not when you sell. I'm going to give you a game plan. I'm going to show you step by step the process where you can buy for pennies. This is the reason I can make $25,000, $50,000, and sometimes $100,000 on one deal, because I buy at the right price. I'll show you how. You'll be shocked when you see my students buying nice properties for 15 to 35 cents on the dollar. I've created a systematic, proven, and tested step-by-step process. I'll give you a roadmap, almost like a GPS. You just follow the directions. Of course, many of you want to stay at home and raise your family. Anna and Tony are Canadians. However, they live in Costa Rica and they're raising 2 young girls. They manage their time and their tax lien certificate and tax defaulted property business in the United States, and they do that online by focusing 5 to 10 hours a week. You'll be able to do the same when you master this program. You can live and work anywhere in the world. There's an internet connection. This is not hype. These are real people making real money that most people only dream about. If you get this right, you can expect to make big money on one deal. Listen closely as Anna describes a tax defaulted auction in Los Angeles, California. She bid and won a property at auction from the tax collector who valued the property at $210,000, and her bid was only $14,000. That's 7 cents on the dollar. So let me say that again. The property was valued at $210,000. Her top bid was only $14,000. That's only 7 cents on the dollar. You'll be trained just like these extraordinary people who know where they're going in life. Here's Anna. You'll love this case history.
I came across Ted.Thomas material sometime in July of last year, and it was just really good timing because we were just about at time looking for something with greater returns, something that will give us more time to spend with family and enjoy our family more while being able to live the life we've always dreamed of. Because I attended Ted's 3-day workshop, I knew that LA has a 2-day auction. What happens is whatever they don't sell on the first day, they sell half price on the second day, and that is how we ended up with our lot. We paid $14,000 for a lot that was assessed, I believe, $210,000.
You more than doubled our money.
And right move on to the next deal. Yes, yeah. Yes. So we have 2 girls, almost 11 and 6 years old, and
this new business will really give us more time to focus on our family, spend more time with our family, travel more. For instance, when we went to King County, we took the kids to Vancouver because that's where our family is, so they can visit grandma. At the same time, we spend time with them. So it was a bit of a family vacation / business trip, which was always nice. And being able now to work on this, not every day, 7-8 hours a day, but more kind of come and go basis, you have more free time to take family trips, to enjoy each other and make those memories that most people are just too busy, too stressed out to do when they simply, employed somewhere and they don't have time for themselves and their loved ones.
Most of you attending this webinar want more income and security in your life. A few deals like you've just seen and heard will make your life a lot more comfortable and secure. Tony and Anna have no commute, no fighting long lines of endless traffic or stuck on some bus or standing on a crowded subway. No getting dressed up to go to work. They're living where the weather is always comfortable and they're making good money. You could be doing the same. I'm so proud of all these women, young mothers, career women, grandmas. Just take a look. I know you want to work at home. I hope you're seeing solutions for a second income for your family. This works for people who are willing to follow directions and want to make an extra $10,000 to $15,000 a month working from home only 5 to 10 hours a week. You have alternatives. I know many of you who shop on the internet are bargain hunters, and my guess is you are one of them. So I've designed and created a course just for you. And here's what it includes. It includes Making Money Carefully. This is a home study course that's valued at $995. Then 1-year coaching certificate. It's valued at $3,000. Then you'll receive two tickets that is, to a 3-day auction preparation workshop. Each ticket is valued at $2,500. Then you'll also receive online lessons, how to buy on the internet. Those are all online. The total value is $9,995, but I'm going to save you a lot of money. I have no high-priced TV commercials to pay, no satellite radios to promo, so I'm going to pass on all those savings to you and give you a full discount of $8,000. That's right, $8,000 discount. Your investment is only $1,995. But let's be clear. This is the Bargain Hunter Special. You're not getting the platinum directories, which would allow you to access over 100 million properties, and you're not getting the deal making and hand-holding program, which is an accelerated program, and it also includes a video coach. However, you are getting my most popular training for newcomers. And here's what that includes. Once again, Making Money Carefully, that's $995. 1-year coaching certificate, that's every Wednesday night. That's valued at $3,000. 2 tickets to an auction preparation workshop. The value there is $5,000, and 4 online lessons. Now, I always like to do more than I promise. So this is my way of giving back to all you newcomers. If you've come this far, I know you're motivated. So here's a huge reward, a huge bonus limited to the first 18 orders this month. And it's a scholarship, as you can see. Now, the scholarship has a value of $1,300. That means you'll receive a $1,300 discount. So this is like a gift. So take that $1,300 from the $1,995. Your price today is going to be $695. Wow, $695, and look what you're getting.